Now let's use the results which we have already derived, or the formulas or expressions which we have already derived, to try and understand these results like this, like sine 90 plus theta, sine 90 minus theta, cos 90 plus theta, cos 90 minus theta, or 180 plus theta minus theta, or 270 plus theta or minus theta. What happens there, right? These are called allied angles, right? Obviously, when we will be using this in physics, we don't need to know whether they are called allied angles or what type of angles. We just care about the results. So sine 90 plus theta, suppose this is what you have to find. You already know what is sine A plus cos B. What is sine A plus B? Sine A plus B is sine A cos B plus cos A sine B, right? Now, few results which we have already seen is sine 90 degree is what? 1. Cos 90 degree is what? 0. And sine 0 degree is what? 0. And cos 0 degree is what? 1. Right? We have already seen this. And if you don't remember it, then also I have given you the picture, and I told you that you make that picture permanent in your brain. These are the axes. This is 0 degree, this is 90 degree, 180 degree, and 270 degree. The x coordinate and y coordinate, suppose if x and y both are 1, right? So if you draw a circle here of radius 1, then the coordinates on the axis, if it is x, that will give you cos theta. If it is y, that will give you sin theta. We have already done this. So let's see here, what will be this coordinate? It will be 1 comma 0. What will be this coordinate? This will be 0 comma 1. Here it will be 0 comma minus 1, and on the negative x-axis, that is on this side, it will be minus 1 comma 0. So wherever you have x coordinate, whatever x coordinate is there at that particular angle, that is cos, right? So suppose you have to find cos 180 degree. So where is 180 degree? Here. What do you have to find? Cos. What is x coordinate there? Minus 1. So cos 180 degree is minus 1. Anything you can find here. For example, you have to find what is sine 270 degrees, right? So 270 degrees here. Sine means y coordinate. What is y coordinate? Minus 1, right? So on y axis, sine is 1 and minus 1. On x axis, cos is 1 and minus 1. So these are various ways in which you can remember these results of these angles, especially 0 degree and 90 degree, and even 270 and 360 degrees. Now let's come back to this, where we were finding what is sine 90 plus theta. So sine 90 plus theta is, we just applied the formula here, sine 90 cos theta plus cos 90 sine theta. Cos 90 is 0, so that is gone. Sine 90 is 1. So this is 0, sine 90 is 1. So that means this is only cos theta. So sine 90 plus theta is cos theta. Similarly, what will be sine 90 minus theta? Sine 90 minus theta will be same thing. Only difference will be, instead of plus, there will be negative sign. But it doesn't matter, because after that it is cos 90 degree, and cos 90 degree is 1. So that means even this will be equal to what? It will be equal to cos theta. So sine 90 plus theta or sine 90 minus theta, both are equal to cos theta. Let's see what we will get if we do cos 90 plus theta, and we'll also try to see what will be the result when there is cos 90 minus theta. So cos 90 plus theta, apply the formula. it is cos A cos B, cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. B is theta. Now cos 90 is 0, so this is completely gone. Sin 90 is 1, so you have only minus sin theta. So now this result is little different from the previous one. Previous one we saw that sine changed to cos. So here also cos changed to sine, but there is negative sign as well. So still we are not able to conclude anything, but we have different results. Obviously there will be lot of such results to remember. So there should be some pattern should be there. We should be able to decode that pattern. Let's try and find what is sine cos 90 minus theta. So cos 90 minus theta, same way, it will be cos A cos B plus sin A sin B. So cos 90 cos theta plus sin 90 sin theta. Nothing has changed. Only thing is here there is a positive sign. So this is gone and you will have sin theta. So sin 90 plus theta, sin 90 minus theta, cos 90 plus theta, cos 90 minus theta. There is one pattern that sine changed to cos. Sine changed to cos in first set, and in the next two we saw that the cos ratio has changed to sine ratio. There is one problem, that is this negative sign, right? So we'll come to that. Let's move to the next angle. Instead of 90, let's try with 180 degrees. So sine 180 degrees plus theta. In maths, most of the times you will be doing you will be taking angles in terms of pi. So in the last class I have given you that mapping as well. Pi is 180 degree, pi by 2 is 90 degree, 2 pi is 360 degree, 3 pi by 2 is 270 degree. So accordingly you manage in that system as well, in radian system as well. So sine 180 plus theta, if I have to do that, sine 180 degree cos theta plus cos A sine theta. Now in this case, sine 180 degree, see here, sine 180 degree means this. So this is 0, right? Sine 180 degree. 180 degree means negative x-axis. Negative x-axis, the coordinates of a unit circle will be -1, 0. So y coordinate will be your sine theta. So sine 180 degree is 0. So this is gone. This entire term is gone. You have only the second term. And in the second term, you have cos 180 degree, and see what is cos 180 degree. It is -1. So ultimately this is minus sine theta. So now negative sign is there. That is already a difference from which we are already dealing with, that there is a negative sign. Out of 4, there was one negative sign earlier. Now in this, there is a negative sign as well. And at this moment, or in this particular formula or result, sine remains sine. Sine does not change to cos. Let's see what happens if we have cos 180 degree plus theta. So this is cos A plus B, which is cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. So cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. Now in this, the second term will be 0 because that has sin 180 degree. Sin 180 degree is 0. Cos 180 is negative. Cos 180 degree is -1. So this means this is minus cos theta. So now here we see that even cos remains cos. But yes, there is a negative sign. So this, what is the pattern of negative sign? That is something which we still have to decode. right? And one more thing which we have to now face is that in the above four cases which we have seen, sine changed to cos and cos changed to sine, but here sine remains sine and cos remains cos, right? Let's see one more. Let's say at 270 degree we are finding cos. We'll do only one, say cos 270 degree plus theta. So it will be equal to what? It will be cos 270 degree into sine theta minus, sorry, cos, right? Cos A cos B minus sine A, that is 270 degrees, into sine B, which is sine theta. Again, 270 degree, it is on y axis. So x is 0. That means cos is 0. So cos 270 degree is 0. This is gone. And sine 270 degree will be what? Minus 1. So this is minus of minus. That is plus sine theta. So again, cos changed to sine, but here you have positive. So these are various results which we have seen. Now, based on this, what can we conclude? Or do we have to do the same exercise again and again if we are not able to remember the values? So let's see if there is a pattern or not. Let's analyze. So there are two things. When is the ratio changing from sine to cos and cos to sine? And when is the sign negative or positive? So first let's see when it is changing, the ratio is changing. So ratio is changing when it was this, that is 90 plus or minus theta, or when it was this, that is 270 plus or minus theta. But when it was 180 plus or minus theta, the ratio remains same, right? The ratio doesn't change when it is at 180 degrees. So that is one conclusion or one observation which we can make. Next, the sign, that is when it is negative and when it is positive. So we'll see that as well. So okay, so based on whatever we have seen till now, let's try to conclude something. Let's try to figure out what is actually happening there. So we saw that if it is at 0 degree or at 180 degrees or at these, that is on x-axis, if the transformation, if the transition is along this axis or about this axis, that is 0 plus or minus theta or 180 plus or minus theta, the ratio remains same, right? If the transition is here. So on this axis there is no change in ratio, the ratio remains same, right? But on the other axis, that is where there is 90 degree or 270 degree, or if you come to this in the second cycle, it will be 360 plus 90, that is 450 degrees. So in that case, what do we observe? So we observe that whether you are doing 90 plus theta or 90 minus theta, or 270 plus theta or 270 minus theta, in both the cases the ratio will change. What does that mean? That means sine changes to cos and cos changes to sine. That is what we have observed in the results which we have derived earlier. 90 plus theta, sine changes to cos changes to sine, right? Here, cos has changed to sine has changed to cos. When it is 90 minus or 90 plus theta, or when it is 270 plus theta, even in that case. But if it is 180 plus theta or 180 minus theta, in that case it doesn't matter. Sine remains sine, cos remains cos. So that is the one observation, and we have already concluded that. We will also verify this uh, by deriving the result for one more such transition. But this is the one thing. Second is, what about the sign? What about whether it is negative or positive? So if you see, whenever you have the original ratio, let's say sine. So if you have sine here and you are doing 90 plus theta, so sine of 90 plus theta. So when you do 90 plus theta, you will go into second quadrant. And when you go in second quadrant, sine is positive, right? We all know that in the first quadrant, all positive, in second quadrant, sine positive, in third quadrant, tan positive, and in fourth quadrant, cos positive. So when you are doing 90 plus theta, you are going into second quadrant. And that's why sine has become, or sine, because the original ratio is sine, and original ratio is sine, and that is positive in the second quadrant. That's why even this is positive. Similarly here, 90 minus theta. When you do 90 minus theta, so from 90, you are coming in the backward, in the reverse direction, 90 minus theta. So you will come back to first quadrant. In first quadrant, all ratios are positive. So the sign will also be positive. Similarly, think about this cos 90 minus theta. Now you try to apply that. Cos 90 minus theta. 90 minus theta means what? First quadrant. First quadrant, all the angles are positive. This is positive. Sine of 180 plus theta. 180 plus theta means what? It is third quadrant. In third quadrant, tan is positive. I hope you remember, you understood this, right? 180 plus theta. 180 plus theta. That means you will come in this quadrant. In this quadrant, that is third quadrant, tan is positive, everything else is negative. So even this sign will be negative. So the one thing which you have to understand here is that you are dealing with the original ratio, the sign of the original ratio, not this ratio, which will come here. Originally sign is positive, so it will be positive. If it is negative, so the final value which you are getting, even that will be negative. It is the original ratio whose sign will determine the sign of the final value. See here, 270 plus theta. So 270 plus theta means this quadrant, that is fourth quadrant. In fourth quadrant, cos is positive. So whatever you get here value, it doesn't matter. Originally it is cos. Cos in which quadrant? Fourth quadrant. So cos in fourth quadrant will be positive. Simple. So that means now we have the full picture of this transition, right? So if the transition is along 0 degree, 180 degree, 360 degree, 540 degree, and so on, that means if the transition is along x-axis, as you can see here, there won't be any change in ratio. Sine will remain sine, cos will remain cos. If it is along the y-axis, that is 90 degree, 270 degree, 450 degrees and all, or you can simply say in terms of pi by 2, this is pi by 2, this is 3 pi by 2. Then it will be 5 pi by 2, this will be 7 pi by 2. Like that, it will keep going, right? So in these cases, when it is multiples of 90 or 270, even 180 is multiple of 90. So we'll say if it is odd multiple of 90, or simply if it is along the y-axis, if the transition is taking place across the y-axis, 90 plus theta or 90 minus theta, in that case you will have to change the ratio. But if it is along x-axis, there won't be any change in ratio. no change in ratio. That means sine will remain sine, cos will remain cos. Clear? And coming to the sign, whether it is negative or positive, that is decided by the same old trick, right? You have to be careful only about this thing. So for example, now if we have to find sine 270 degree minus theta. So see, it is sine 270 minus theta. So as soon as you do 270 minus theta, that means you are in third quadrant, and in third quadrant sine is negative. So first you write that this will be equal to minus, it will be a negative value. And what? It is 270. 270 is on y-axis. So if it is on y-axis, sine will change to cos, cos will change to sine. So this will be equal to minus cos theta. This is without applying the formula. We did it. Now let's verify whether this is correct or not. So sine 270 degree minus theta is sine A cos B minus cos A sine B. Cos 270 degrees will be equal to 0. So that is gone. Sine 270 degree will be equal to minus 1. Sine 270 degrees minus 1, right? So this is minus cos theta. And now you can check both are same, right? So it's up to you. You want to derive all these formulas, you can do that and check and verify and convince yourself. Ultimately, you will get the same. I mean, you can, whatever your findings are, you can summarize that, and this will be the final result or observation which you will get. So that is how you can find these ratios or trigonometric ratios of allied angles, any angle. This is the, you can say this is the cheat sheet for that transition. Okay, so that's all about trigonometry. There's nothing left in trigonometry which you will find later. I mean, in physics, this much is sufficient. Obviously, in mathematics, you have to do much more, but for physics, these things which we have done, this is sufficient. Whatever I have done, you can revise that later, all the derivations and every result you can derive. Now, the next mathematical tool, we have seen trigonometry. Before that, we have seen algebra, polynomials and all, right? And even we have seen areas, volumes, those measurements. Next very small topic is logarithms. Again, in mathematics, you will have one big portion or topic, logarithm, but here we don't need that. We need only some basic results of logarithm. So today I'll just introduce what is logarithm. In next class on Saturday, we will see this logarithm in detail. So as I told you earlier also, this logarithm and or log, in short we use the term log. So log and exponents are related. They are related, not just similar, they are related. How are they related? So in exponents, if you say a to the power b is equals to x, the same thing or same fact can be rewritten in another form, and that form is called logarithm. And what is that? We say that log x to the base b, log x to the base a is equals to b, right? This is what log is. and this is how they are related. What does that mean? Let's say if I say 2 to the power 3 is equals to 8. In terms of log, if you have to express it, how will you express? We have to say log of 8 to the base 2 is equals to 3. Basically, we want to say, and the way we read it, that is very important. Log of 8 to the base 2 is equals to 3. So this is read as base. That means this base should be raised to what power? That will give you 8. So this is nothing but 3. This is how log and exponents are related, right? Let's say if I give you log 81 to the base 3 is equals to what? Can you tell me? Anyone? So I'll solve it for you so that you understand. This means base is 3. So 3 is base. And what should be the power of that base? So that gives you 81. Now tell me.
4.
Yes. 4, right?
Yes, sir.
4, sir.
Yes. So this is equals to 4. Similarly, log say x to the base 4 is equals to 3. So what is this x?
81.
81. Try again. So when you say 81, that means 4 to the power 3 is equals to 81, which is wrong.
Sir, 64, sir.
That will be x will be equals to 64. Right? So this simply means what? 4, as I told earlier also, log a to the base b is equals to x. That means b to the power x is equals to a. Remember this simple relation. That's all you have to do. Base, power, value. Right? So this means b should be raised to what power? That it gives you a, and that is x. Right? These two are same. So when we say log x to the base 4 is equals to 3, that means 4 raised to a power that gives you x, and that power is nothing but 3. So this is 4 cube, which is equals to x, or 64, which is equal to x. Right? So that is the basic definition of log. You can try this on your own. You put substitute different values, and you try to practice with your own data, right? As you can see, it is related with what? Exponents, right? So you should be knowing what is 2 cube, what is 2 to the power 5, what is 4 to the power 3, what is 3 to the power 4, what is 7 square, what is 2 to the power 7, what is 3 to the power 3, things like that. And you can write that in terms of exponents, and then you write the logarithmic form of that. For example, we know that 7 to the power 3 is what? 343. So that means if I want to write it in log form, what will I write? Log 343 to the base 7 is equals to 3. So what power of 7 will give you 343? This is how you have to read it. So similarly, you can think of your own examples and try to practice it. Try to say for example, again, if I think say 5 to the power 3, that is nothing but 125. This means what? Log 125 to the base 5 means what power of 5 will give me 125? So that is nothing but 3. This is how they are related. So like that, practice yourself. In next class, we will see some properties of logs, which will be similar to the properties of, similar means which will be related to, or which can be mapped to the properties of exponents. So that's why before coming to the next class, revise exponents and try these examples, more examples, your own examples, and see if you are facing any difficulty in that. And obviously the topics which we have already covered today, try to revise those topics as well in trigonometry. There are some derivations, some results which I have shown you without deriving, so try to derive those results as well, especially that sine c plus sine d, sine c here, right? 4 such, these 4. So try to derive these 4 as well. Okay, so that's all for today. If you have any questions,